I was someplace between 3 and 5 years sober, and I'd been going to a men's stag meeting at the NWA club in Long Beach on Tuesday nights. And on this one Tuesday night, a young gentleman came into the meeting. And this happened to be a closed meeting. If you weren't an alcoholic or wouldn't identify as one, you couldn't stay in the meeting. They would ask you to leave. In fact, they would walk you out. They didn't really want anybody who wasn't an alcoholic in there listening to them. And this gentleman who came in would not identify, and so they asked him to leave, and he did. And I could tell he was really pissed off. Well, being who I am, I followed the guy out of the building and out into the Target parking lot across the street from the club. Now I talked to him. I said, all you really have to do if you want to stay is say that you're an alcoholic. Whether you're one or not is irrelevant, but if you want to stay and hang out with us, just come back and identify as an alcoholic, and then you can stay. Well, this guy, we'll call him Dean, because I'm not going to reveal his name. He said, I was going to kill you. I've got a gun. Here it is. But seeing as how you came out here and you're actually friendly with me, I'll come back to the meeting with you. He left the gun on the concrete light standard, and he walked back to the meeting with me. Now, Dean came inside. He said, I'm an alcoholic. And everybody said, welcome. Now he sat down right next to me. There was coffee and there were cookies, and he got himself a cup and a cookie and came back and sat down. They asked him if he wanted to share something, and he told us that he'd been walking up and down the street trying to gain courage enough to rob the liquor store down on the end of the block. He said he looked in all of the homes as he walked by, the Christmas decorations up, and the Christmas trees, and the happy families, and he was really feeling sorry for himself. He saw all of us sitting in there in this club. So he came in the door, and then he was really, really disappointed when we told him to leave. But it's good to be welcomed. And I probably am an alcoholic. Dean stayed in Alcoholics Anonymous and stayed my friend and made friends with all of us. For the whole 6 years I remained in Long Beach. He started his own meetings, he took the steps, he was very active in Alcoholics Anonymous. He became a really good guy. Sometimes when I tell people that God walks with me, they don't believe me. And I'll tell you what, I'm not religious, but I do believe in God. And if God wasn't with me when I went out to that parking lot to talk to Dean, I probably wouldn't be here now. Like I said, another time, I used to say that Alcoholics Anonymous saved my life, but now I know it was God that saved my life. Thanks for listening, and I'll come up with another story one of these days soon.